When are we gonna start holding women like more accountable, bro? More particularly straight women. Let me say this right now, bro. I stopped dating straight women, dog. I don't date straight women no more. And when I say that, it doesn't mean I'm dating men, but I actually prefer to date queer women now as opposed to straight women. The reason I say I prefer to date queer women is because queer women don't box you in. They don't see you as like somebody who, let's say, you disagree with your woman, right? They're not gonna be the person to be like, oh, as a man, how are you gonna be going back and forth with a woman? They don't do that shit. You can actually hold them accountable and actually have a productive conversation as opposed to somebody just trying to constantly box you into this fucking cube of masculinity. And if you ever hit the edges, it's like, you're sassy, you're less of a man. It's like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with women like that. In fact, not only that, right, but there are a lot of straight women who just come with like this in this sense of entitlement. Like they feel entitled to your energy, your money, your time, your space, all types of shit, just because you're a man. Mind you, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I didn't choose to, be born a man. This shit just kind of happens. But like it's the whole notion that like if I held these same, expectations on a woman, she would not let that shit fly, right? And this is where I have to hold fellas accountable too, because like, nigga, let your nuts hang, bro. A lot of niggas, bro, a lot of dudes, y'all gotta start letting y'all nuts hang, bro. Because, bro, woman would be the first person to like either march and like, what I'm saying, protest, put out videos and stuff like that to make the record clear, yo, y'all can't tell us to do this, y'all can't tell us to do that, right? But the second a woman tries to enforce certain things on men, it'd be the niggas going out of their way to make sure that they fit that box. You see niggas online talking about, oh, I don't go back and forth with a woman. I don't. And listen, I get it, right? There's you don't always have to go back and forth with a woman, but like at the same time, if somebody's wrong, you don't just let them win the argument because it's a woman. I'm not gonna go back and forth. No, hold them accountable, right? If she's wrong, don't just whatever. Hold them accountable. It's like, no, you're wrong. And if she cannot acknowledge that she's wrong, brother, you gotta run. You gotta leave. That is a toxic environment. That is not a place you want to raise children. You don't want to see your son potentially, right, or even your daughter thinking that women can get away with these certain things. It's just not. It's not good for the rest. You're just gonna be spawning other toxic people into the world, and then you're just it's gonna spread like a fucking virus. You know what I mean? And with queer women, I'd say queer women actually look at men like people. They don't look at men as people who they're supposed to fit certain roles. And look, I think there are certain roles as men that kind of just it kind of gets placed on you, right? Like oftentimes men on average are bigger, stronger, faster than women. So, you're going to be put in that position where it's like, okay, if it comes down to defending your family or defending, I wouldn't say a stranger, right? I mean, I feel like that is left up to the person if they want to do that. Me personally, I know if I have a family, I'm not going out of my way to defend a random woman. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's funny about that? I was on an TikTok live one time, and they were talking about pretty much the same topic, men not being men anymore. And like this woman was talking about how she saw a woman, I don't know if she said she was being robbed at gunpoint or something like that, or something happened where like a man was being, or a couple men maybe even, were being physically aggressive with a woman. And people were going around the panel. They were asking all the men, what would you do in this situation? I was all like, when it got to me, well, first of all the men were all like, oh yeah, if it was me, I would go in there, I would defend her, this, that, and the third. I was like, all right, bro, first of all, cap. You know what I'm saying? People get in front of a camera, you know what I'm saying? Or just in front of an audience, and they just start saying anything. You know what I'm saying? They just say anything to fit in, because a lot of people are scared to be viewed as somebody who stands outside of the box. As social creatures, we all want to kind of be within the group so we don't get ostracized, right? Because we're social creatures. Nobody wants to get ostracized. But anyways, So it was up to me now. I had to answer. They were like, "Oh, what would you do in the situation where you saw that woman getting mugged?" I was like, "Shit, I'll call the police." That's all I can do. I'm not putting myself in harm's way, knowing that I have a family back home, knowing that I have responsibilities to other people. I employ other people. People depend on me for a wide variety of different things. I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way if it's not like a family member, like my wife, my mom, like what I'm saying, nieces, uncles, aunts, something like that. People I actually have built relationships with, built rapport with. Just some random chick off the street, yo, I'm not getting involved. And the only way I would get involved is if I know I have a clear advantage. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a situation we're in a shady neighborhood, I don't know what they got on them, I don't know who they know, I'm not getting myself involved, man. I'm not getting myself like if it was a situation where like we're in a hotel and this is a guy I know, like, okay, I could probably take him on. I can handle him. I can handle this guy. Yeah, I'll go in there. I'll step in. I'm like, hey, man, back off type shit. If it's not, sorry, man. I mean, I value my life more than I value anybody else's that I don't know. I don't know. And this is the thing. People with boxing, man. As a man, you're supposed to step. I'm like, bitch, why? Why would I do that though? Why would I why do men have to be sacrificial lambs? Nigga, I can't just exist. Motherfuckers be acting like I chose. They be acting like we chose this, bro. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you try to throw a responsibility on women, hey, you can't do nothing but, what I'm saying, give up the box and clean up after me. Oh, now you're toxic masculinity. This nigga hates women. He misogynist. But they be the first ones, straight women especially, be the first ones to try to box you in. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they have everything to benefit from it. They do. Look at dating today, right? I know women go through a lot in terms of dating, finding somebody serious to date and things like that. I can acknowledge that. I understand that. And listen, it's tough. It's real tough out there, but it's tough for both sides because you have to understand when a man is dating, right? This is where I think a lot of women are confused because a lot of women wonder, man, why isn't this man taking me serious? Like, what I'm saying? Like, why do they only want to go short term? And there are very few times in my life where I can say I've encountered a woman where I'm like, I can't afford to lose this woman. Like, I have to cuff it, I have to lock it down. I can't afford to lose her. Because as men, we all know that we have both physical, emotional, and financial responsibilities when it comes to taking on a woman into a relationship. These are all things that women don't really have to think about. Women are going into a relationship knowing that they're going to be the ones being taken care of. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, obviously, if you're the person going into it knowing that you're going to be the one that's getting taken care of, well, shit, of course you'd want to be in a relationship. You have everything to gain from it. As a man, what exactly do I am literally, right, taking on burden, a burden by entering a relationship. Because now I have to not only account for myself, I have to account for you, right? That goes financially as well. Time, energy, what I'm saying? You have to split that between you, your partner, and yourself. Like, dude, I mean, and they have to do some of that stuff too, but like, it really just comes down to like the financial stuff though, especially in today's day and age. It's tough, bro. It's tough. So you really, as a man, you have to really, really sit down and think, okay, can I really see myself with this person long term? And a lot of men, you know what I'm saying? Not too many women check those boxes. So that's why you see a lot of women who they think they're coming across men who ain't serious. It's like, it's not that they're not serious. You're just not that one. You're just not that one. You don't peak. You don't check off all the boxes. And I'm sorry, but most women don't. Right? A lot of men will sleep with a lot of women, like even if they don't check off those boxes, because it's like shit. Well, I mean, while I'm still looking for the one, I might as well just, what I'm saying, you're good enough. You look good enough. You know what I'm saying? We might bond on a few other things, but yeah, that's about it, man. That's about it. Like, imagine if a man actually didn't do shit and waited till he found that one, that diamond, or what is that needle in the haystack. A whole bunch of men will be dying as virgins, bro, because there are rarely any women like that out there. You know what I'm saying? Rarely. But yeah, man. I really don't know. I felt like I was going somewhere with this. I lost my train of thought, and I'm supposed to be hitting the gym. So I guess I'll just leave it there, man. Let me know if you guys relate to anything I've said so far. Let me know, man. Have you guys ever dated a queer woman and a straight woman? And if you did, what do you think the difference was? Did you notice anything different? Because I know for me, dating women that are queer is actually just like a breath of fresh air because they don't have these crazy expectations or these crazy ideas or notions of what a man is supposed to be. They kind of just listen. They understand, like, yo, he's a human being just like me. You know, I'm a human being just like him, and we gonna figure out how this relationship works best for us. Straight women, bro, they're like so narrow minded. They just think so narrowly that it's like I don't even think they're worth the effort, bro. I think they need to be left alone until they understand how to like actually view men as people and not, um, wallets or fucking knights and shining armors that they be reading in their fucking dumbass fucking gooner books. That's another thing, bro. A lot of these women be gooners, bro. Like I'm talking, they be gooning over the most weird type of fantasy fucking vampire, witch doctor books and shit. And anyways, bro. I'm rambling, but yeah, I'm out, man.